And today, I'd like to again thank you for coming out to our award ceremony. I'm going to tell you today, you're going to hear some amazing stories about wonderful people that are in your community. They do business in your community, they live in your community, they go to the schools in your community, and they make where you live and what you do a safe and wonderful thing. Sometimes we have some wonderful media here, so I won't pick on you guys too much here. Thank you for coming out and sharing these positive stories. But we often are bombarded with the bad things that happen out there. Every day you see something and you go, how can a person do this? How can someone's conscience lead them to do these terrible things? And then tonight, you're going to see the complete opposite. You're going to see wonderful people, men and women, children, that do everything possible to make life better for others. And tonight, I'm very proud of these awards. It'll be about an hour program, so I promise you, we'll go through the awards and ceremonies, but I'm excited to do this. Every year, this is a very nice reminder to have told to us the stories that we often don't see, and that's the heroes that come forward to save people when they're in harm's way, or also the people that keep harm's way from ever happening. Crime prevention. So I'm going to give a little bit of house rules as I move forward with these exciting events tonight. When we call your name for the awards, if you could come over here to my left, or if you're walking forward, your right, or I'll just point over there. For groups, the same thing. If you could just, as we call a group forward, if you could, as your name is called, just go over to the side here, and we're going to just proceed this way as the award is read. We'll guide you through. The first couple ones that you see happen should go seamless, minus a few casualties, and then after that we'll have it all figured out nice and safely. So, one thing I ask when we do have a large group award, if you could just wait till everybody gets up here before we have applause, that will help the event move a little bit better. Of course, applause is always greatly appreciated, even when you tell very terrible jokes. So, Marie here is in the middle. She's going to be taking your pictures when you're up here for your awards. If it's a funny picture, we'll be posting on our Facebook account and selling subscriptions later. No, there'll be wonderful pictures that we can have sent to you if you'd like afterwards. The contact information is on the bottom of the program if you'd like a picture of yourself when you're up here. So, all right, on to the first guest we have here speaking today is your Mayor, Tim Wilson.
Thanks, Chief. I know the Chief has told you that there's only an hour program, but I, being a politician, will take my hour first. So, but I'm just here to welcome you, and I see a lot of people here in the crowd who I know, I recognize. A lot of good community people are here tonight. It's great to see this happen every year. It's so positive for our community, and I swear it gets bigger every year. This room's almost full. We're packed this evening, so, and it's good to see. So, welcome. I hope you enjoyed the program. I know the Chief and the department has put a lot of work into it. I'm gonna go off script a little bit too, Chief. Isn't this like your last major event as the Chief? The Chief is retiring soon, and this is one of his pride and joy events, and I know he enjoys it a lot, but I certainly want to give him a hand for all the years. So, I do have a couple of other more things that I would like to do. We have a number of council members who are here this evening as well. Councilmember Dan Ryan is here. He's in the back. Councilmember Lynn Muskowski. Councilmember Chris Lawrence Anderson. And Councilmember Graves, who I don't think is here this evening. So welcome everybody, have a good time, and I need to introduce then another great person from the city of Brooklyn Center who has been part of the crime prevention program for a number of years, and that would be Miss Bobby Moore.
Good evening and welcome. And that was the first thing I'd heard, that the chief is retiring. And you know why he's retiring? Because he's got 2 little babies at home that he has to take care of. That's what I understand. Anyway, there's been so much bad PR lately about all the policemen and all this stuff. So the first thing I want you to do, bad cops on the left, good cops on the right. I've been with the crime prevention program for the 25 years. I've been to every one of these awards. I've been with the crime prevention longer than that, but we've been doing this for 25 years. And the first one was in some little room somewhere, just a few people, but it had grown and grown. And anybody that's not familiar with the crime prevention program, we try to raise money for different projects. And my most favorite project is supporting the Explorer Scouts. So if you see these guys, where are you? There's more of you somewhere. Anyway, these guys start out when I believe they can start at 14 to be an explorer, and several of them have gone on, and now they're policemen. So this is just a really, really super program that we have going. But anyway, I could talk all night about the crime prevention program, but I better not because the chief will fire me. So thank you for coming, and don't forget we have a golf tournament coming up. The only money we get is what we earn from donations and fundraisers. So come on out and golf with us. And we also have a book sale that's going to be starting. And that's all. I'll go on all night, but thank you. I just got so excited I forgot to introduce this next gentleman, Tony Groening. Thank you. Sorry, Tony.
All right, are you ready? Okay. One type of award that the Brooklyn Center Police Department presents is a Chief's Certificate of Commendation. The Chief's Certificate of Commendation may be awarded to a member of the department or a citizen for an act of achievement that is beyond the normal performance required of that member and which reflects great credit upon the department. At this time, I'd like to invite Mr. Timothy Sullivan and Ms. Kathleen Sullivan to come forward, please. On January 23rd, 2015, Brooklyn Center Police were called to the municipal liquor store located at 6930 Brooklyn Boulevard in reference to an armed robbery of a business. Upon arrival, officers set up a perimeter and started a canine track for the suspect. The canine was able to track to a residential area near the liquor store. However, no suspects were located. During the track, concerned citizens Timothy and Kathleen Sullivan called police to report suspicious behavior in their neighborhood. Mr. Sullivan told police that he was outside when he observed a suspicious silver car stop near his driveway. He watched a male get out of the driver's seat of the car and walk to the nearby gas station and strip mall. He found this behavior to be very odd, noting the male's description and the car's license plate number prior to calling 911. The BCPD was able to use the license plate detail given by Mr. and Mrs. Sullivan to track down a potential suspect. Eventually, police executed several search warrants which revealed evidence from the robbery. Upon interviewing the suspect, he confessed to the liquor store robbery and another robbery of a gas station in the area. For your keen observations and willingness to report suspicious behavior occurring in your neighborhood to the police, the details that you provided were vital to making an arrest. We are pleased to present the Chief's Certificate of Commendation to Mr. Timothy Sullivan and Mrs. Kathleen Sullivan. Now I'd like to introduce Chief Benner to the podium.
Okay, I have some jokes I want to do. Just kidding. Normally I don't read awards because I'll be over there, but I have a special award that I think is very important. I'd like to call forward the Luther Automotive Group. If you could please step up here. It's my understanding you have multiple general managers and executives from within the Luther Automotive Group. The award they're going to receive is the Commitment to a Safe Community Award. We've only issued this award one other time in our history, and I think this award is very deserving. So, about 10 years ago, Luther Automotive Group had talked about things they can do in the community as they joined Brooklyn Center in their business. And one discussion that came forward was, what can we do to help young people? What can we do to help make their lives better? And we noticed there was a strong vacancy in opportunities for youth in the summertime. At the same time, we knew that opportunities for youth, keeping them engaged in the summertime, was a significant factor in reducing crime. When kids had idle time, they often had trouble. When kids had orchestrated, well-constructed time, they led lives of success. They came up with this unique idea. There was a Chevrolet dealership, apple pie, baseball, Chevrolet. And they said, wait a minute. Kids weren't playing baseball as much in Brooklyn Center. And they took a gamble. They found when they asked the kids what they like to do, they want to play soccer. Hundreds of kids wanted to play soccer. And they had the courage to make an investment and commitment with their staff, their management and staff, to go out and just see how many kids want to play soccer. 100 kids signed up in a day. They filled a void. Now here's the reality where it comes into be commitment to safety in your communities. We watched crime in Brooklyn Center over the last 7 years plummet. Last year we were, again, record low crime. Here's the reality that a lot of people don't know. When you deal with youth and keep them out of crime, it actually does have a long-term effect on your community, and this is this long-term effect. They brought soccer into Brooklyn Center in an exponential fashion. Hundreds of kids, to include last year, we had over 500 families and kids participating in the banquet. These are kids that had great organized time, all through generous donations. They've made many other donations in our city to make it an attractive place for kids and adults to be involved, including the amphitheater, which you may see out back there with they're already starting the construction on, that'll be started shortly. These contributions and the donated time of their staff to participate in these events has helped dramatically reduce crime in Brooklyn Center. This is factual now. This didn't happen last year as a concept. This is now the measured results from that contribution and effort they've done. And I say this with great pride. Thank you for what you've done. Your leadership and your commitment to giving and being involved in your community is greatly appreciated by the Brooklyn Center Police Department. And today it is my honor to give you this award for your commitment to safety. Thank you.
Just wanted to make a couple of quick comments. Thank you so much, Chief Benner, for this award. You have fostered an incredible relationship between Luther Automotive and the police department and the city. It has been such an honor for us to work with you and the people in the department, and the support that you have shown over the years for our people, our business, and the community endeavors that we've undertaken, both inside and out of Brooklyn Center, have been really appreciated. There's no other city that we work with in this capacity. We've been in Brooklyn Center in our businesses for over 35 years, and we have over 500 employees who come to work here every day. Needless to say, it is a community that is near and dear to us, and it is our great privilege that we can participate in these community events and build a community that's safe for all of its citizens. So thank you very, very much.
The next award, I'd like to have Monique Dreyer please come forward. Monique will be receiving the Merit of Achievement Award, and I'm going to read this because this is the exact description of the award. The Merit of Achievement may be awarded to an employee of the department for outstanding performance in a particular incident, or for several acts of achievements that go beyond the normal performance required of that employee, and which reflect consistent, above-average performance on the job. It is awarded for performance that exemplifies professionalism, distinguished because of the attention to detail and the special effort taken to accomplish that particular task. For those of you who don't know Monique, one or two people, Monique has been in our city for 10 years. She came to us under a program called the Joint Community Police Partnership, and this was in an effort to build relationships with the community and law enforcement. As you've read in the news today, that's still something very strained. But in Brooklyn Center, we've had tremendous success over the last 10 years. We've had success because of the work that Monique has done and the bridges that she's built in the community where people have been afraid to go or had conversations that are uncomfortable. We need to have conversations that are uncomfortable sometimes to make sure things are okay. And Monique has served in that role to help that. I want to give a couple examples of what Monique has done. This is to keep me on track, but I'm actually speaking from my heart because I've worked with Monique for the 10 years and I appreciate her service. In 2010, the United States COPS program, Community Oriented Policing Program, funded a research to find out what law enforcement can do to build relationships in the community. And they surveyed over 200 police departments throughout the country. And they found, out of all those 200 police departments, Brooklyn Center, the program that was being done by Monique and staff in Brooklyn Center, was one that they want to use as a model. I want to expand on that a little bit. After a presentation was done about how they built relationships with the community by, again, having difficult conversations and talking about people that often were afraid of law enforcement, we were invited to Denmark to talk to Denmark about how police relationships can be built. This is all based on a model and a program that was being done here under the leadership of Monique. She also worked as part of the soccer program with the Luther Automotive Group. We noticed a lot of kids, they just didn't know how to register for events and activities, and that we found that, again, soccer was something that could bring the kids together, build social skills, and connect with everybody in the community. And she was been kind of our champion with the Luther Automotive Group to help get participation in these programs. And again, the celebration at the end here with 500, as it continues to grow, I don't know how much bigger it can get. We're running out of soccer space. Oh wait, you guys helped build another soccer field. I mean, it's just one thing after another. It's exploding, and it's wonderful stuff that helps build, again, relationships with community and police, which is so desperately needed today. Just recently, we had an Ebola outbreak. It happened in 3 countries in West Africa. In Minnesota here, Brooklyn Center, Brooklyn Park specifically, we have one of the largest Liberian populations in the world. A lot of people don't know that. Monique and her connections within the community knew that there was a terrible outbreak in Liberia before the news media even knew how to spell Ebola. She came and got people that were experts in the field, the epidemiologists, okay, I can't say that word, the people who talk about germs, those guys. So I'm used to reading to my 2-year-old daughter, so I apologize for that word. But okay, she's got these people together, obviously I didn't because I didn't know how to say their name, and told people this is what Ebola really is. These are the risks of Ebola. And they spread that information to their families in Liberia who were getting bad information, dangerous information. People were being put in harm's way because of fear that was not warranted, and facts were not being correctly given to people. Monique got this going, again, before it even became an outbreak. And it saved people's lives, not just here, but in Liberia. These are things that are very powerful I just want to recognize. The last thing is the community service unit. We found if we had an emergency in Brooklyn Center, that language and cultural differences could be a challenge when you have a disaster occurring. By bringing together the community service unit with many different language skills, many different cultural skills, all together in the time of crisis, you can have a better, successful outcome. And we do. We have a very proud team of people that are willing to be called anytime, day or night, to serve in a community service response unit. This is just one of hundreds of examples of these connections in the community. Again, I'm very proud to give this award tonight to Monique Dreyer for the Merit of Achievement. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you to all of you, because without the community, without the wonderful people that I get to work with every day at the Brooklyn Center Police Department, from the chief, the person that you see that answers the phone when you come in or maybe at the front desk, all of you have taught me a lot, and I thank you for that experience. Thank you again.
One thing I'd like to highlight is she was Brooklyn Center's Joint Community Police Partnership. Because of the success that we've had, she's now running the whole program for Hennepin County. So I forgot to mention that small little promotion that she got. Congratulations, Monique. And now I'll be introducing the next speaker, Commander Brian Peters.
Good evening. I do want to take a quick moment to recognize another retirement that we have coming up. Sergeant Roth, if you could stand up. After 33 years, he's retiring August 1st. Thank you. He wasn't expecting that. I'm going to read the Medal of Merit. The Medal of Merit may be awarded to an employee of the department for an act of excellent or outstanding self-initiated work, highly credible, unusual accomplishment, or continuing long-term dedication and devotion to the department or the community as a representative of the department. At this time, I'd like to invite Officer Kim Potter, Officer Chris Rongstead, and Officer Colleen Fricke to come forward, please. On August 9th, 2014, police officers Kim Potter, Chris Rongstead, and Colleen Fricke responded to a house fire. As they approached the residence, they observed that the home was fully engulfed in flames and smoke. Completely disregarding their personal safety, they were able to evacuate 9 occupants from the burning home. As they were evacuating the home, officers realized that the home next door also caught on fire. They were able to determine that an elderly female with a physical handicap lived inside the home. Without hesitation, they immediately broke a window to enter the home and search for the elderly female. Officer Chris Rongstead sustained an injury to his hand, but yet continued to search for the female. It was ultimately determined that the elderly female was not home. On August 9th, 2014, officers remained calm and professional in a very tense situation. They never wavered from their attempts to rescue individuals, and they only ended their rescue efforts once they were assured that the initial home was evacuated and the elderly female was accounted for. For their valiant efforts, we're pleased to present the Merit of Achievement to Officer Kim Potter, Officer Chris Rongstead, and Officer Colleen Fricke. I'm going to read the award for the Unit Certificate of Commendation. The Unit Certificate of Commendation may be awarded to a specific unit or group of individuals who exemplify teamwork and achievement beyond their normal performance, reflecting great credit upon the department. At this time, I'd like to invite Officer Jim Schultz, Officer Troy Peasley, and Sergeant Mike Coleman to come forward. On September 12, 2014, Officers Jim Schultz, Troy Peasley, and Sergeant Mike Coleman were monitoring radio dispatch when they learned of an armed bank robbery in Maple Grove. The suspect vehicle was aired by dispatch, and officers took a position along Highway 694. The vehicle was located, and a traffic stop was attempted by another agency. However, the driver did not stop. Officers pursued the vehicle into North Minneapolis, but eventually lost sight of it. Officer Troy Peasley located the vehicle unoccupied, but spoke with witnesses who saw the driver park the car and leave. The information eventually led to the arrest and capture of the suspect. Although this crime did not occur in the city of Brooklyn Center, the officers involved recognized the violent nature of the offense. When officers lost sight of the vehicle out of the city, they remained with the investigation despite the fact that the car was found outside our jurisdiction. Most agencies and officers would have left the investigation to others. For their determination and perseverance when assisting with the apprehension of a violent, armed Maple Grove robbery suspect that fled officers on September 12, 2014, we are pleased to present the Chief's Unit Certificate of Commendation to Officer Jim Schultz, Officer Troy Peasley, and Sergeant Mike Coleman. At this time, I'd like to introduce our next presenter, Tim Gannon, Commander of the Community Services Division.
At this time, I'd like to call Brooklyn Center Officer Alan Salvosa, Melanie Knight, and Minnesota State Patrol Sergeant Chris Dawes to come forward, please. Saving a life is a true accomplishment. It is something to be proud of. The selfless actions of Officer Alan Salvosa, Officer Melanie Knight, and Sergeant Chris Dawes on December 7, 2014 are a reflection of those actions. Their natural responses, fast action, and teamwork allowed them to rescue a trapped individual from a burning vehicle on busy 694 interstate with only minor injuries. Had it not been for these three officers putting their own safety at risk, there's a great likelihood that the individual trapped inside the vehicle would have experienced severe injuries, if not potential death. The officers involved were all humbled about this life-saving event, as if it were just a part of another routine day for them. None of them actively sought attention, recognition, or commendations. This award acknowledges their heroism, highlights their actions, and provides them with the recognition that they deserve. For going beyond the call of duty by putting your own safety at risk to assist an individual trapped inside of a vehicle that was on a fire on December 7, 2014, we are pleased to present the Medal of Merit to Officer Alan Salvosa, Officer Melanie Knight, and Sergeant Chris Dawes. At this time, I would like to invite Officer Troy Peasley and Officer Chris Knodel to come forward, please. On March 11, 2015, at 2 p.m., Officer Troy Peasley and Officer Chris Knodel were working in their capacity as street crimes unit officers while monitoring the Brooklyn Center Transit Center. They observed a group of males known to officers from previous contacts as members of a specific youth street clique. The same group had been involved in a large fight at a nearby business with a rival group just the previous day. Due to the fact that both officers, Peasley and Knodel, are very familiar with the area and the youth, they decided to continue to monitor the group out of concern of other potential confrontation and possible escalating violence. After 45 minutes of surveillance and obvious loitering in the area by the group, officers approached the individuals and conducted protective pat searches. During the pat searches, they discovered 3 large knives on the individuals and confiscated those weapons. For utilizing their training and knowledge of recent activities and local youth to help prevent an escalating feud between young people, which could have likely led to potential deadly consequences, on March 11, 2015, we are pleased to present the Chief's Unit Certificate of Commendation to Officer Troy Peasley and Officer Chris Knodel. At this time, I'd like to introduce our next presenter, Becky Boy, our Crime Prevention Specialist.
At this time, I would like to ask Ms. Holly Castle and the Eichmann family to come forward. The annual Police and Citizen Awards ceremony celebrates the actions of our community members take to ensure a safe community. Crime is not a police issue alone, but one in which citizens, business owners, and employees tackle together. If we all collaborate and work together, we can reduce crime, thus reducing the fear of crime. The Norm Arneson Neighborhood Watch Award was created in 2010. This award recognizes citizens and members of the community who are committed to outstanding service and commitment to the safety of their neighbors. In March 2009, a senseless crime was committed against Norm Arneson. He was robbed and viciously beaten by 2 teenagers. For many years, Norm served as a neighborhood watch captain. He ensured that his neighbors knew each other, watched out for each other, and protected each other. In response, our community came together, united, strong, intolerant of violent crime. Because of his efforts in the community, his neighbors immediately came to his aid, but Norm refused to be a victim. Rather, he became an inspiration to many within our community. His involvement in Neighborhood Watch and the quick action of his neighbors reminds us when we take a stand for each other, we take a stand against crime. Mr. Arneson graciously allowed permission for the award to be named in his honor, and so the Norm Arneson Neighborhood Watch Award was born. On November 30th, 2010, Norm passed away. His legacy lives on, however, as he continues to provide inspiration and hope to everyone whose lives he touched. He made it through the attack against him that fateful March day, and he will continue to live on in the hearts and minds of everyone in the community. I would like to invite Norm's family up front to say a few words.
Good evening. I'm Elaine Johnson, one of Norm Arneson's daughters. Our family is very honored to have this award in Dad's name, and he was very proud of it. He worked hard in the neighborhood, and it was nice that he's acknowledged for it. He's always been a good dad, a good husband, a grandpa, friend, and especially a neighbor. He was a neighbor everybody wanted to be like. He always was there to help. He was very knowledgeable about things. He had all the tools when people needed projects. And he was involved, like Becky said, in the Neighborhood Watch. He hosted a lot of the night out parties. He always went for walks and got to know his neighbors and was concerned what was going on in his neighborhood. He always was a good neighbor, but he was never known for that. He didn't become famous until he became a victim. But this award is not about victims. It's about preventing them from being victims. All the neighbors and people in the community kind of got together and they started thinking of ways to make their neighborhood safe, turning on lights, getting to know each other, just keeping an eye out for any activity that was suspicious. And that's kind of what this award is about. Not for honoring people that are big heroes, but just for the everyday average person who just does his part to make their neighborhood safer and Brooklyn Center a better and safer city. Thank you so much.
This year's Norm Arneson Neighborhood Watch Award is being awarded to Holly Castle. On May 15, 2014 at 4:09 a.m., Holly was walking her dogs along the 3900 block of 50th Avenue and smelled what she thought were embers burning. Holly looked around the area and saw what she thought was smoke coming from a house on the 3900 block of 51st Avenue. Holly called 911 and relayed her observations to the dispatcher. Officers arrived and found a working fire on the back side of the Eichmann residence located on 51st Avenue. Officers pounded on the front door, waking up the residents who were sleeping and unaware that their house was on fire. The smoke alarms in their home failed to go off. Nicholas and Stephanie Eichmann, owners of the home, as well as their 3-month-old daughter Kendall and the several pets, were able to escape the fire. Stephanie and Kendall were treated for smoke inhalation and may have died had it not been for Holly Castle. Therefore, we are honored to name Holly Castle as this year's recipient of the Norm Arneson Neighborhood Watch Award. Another award that the Brooklyn Center Police Department presents is the Dennis Winfield Award. On October 5th, 2004 at 2:35 a.m., while Dennis Winfield was working the night shift as a convenience store clerk at the Citgo gas station, a belligerent male came in the store and began harassing a developmentally disabled male customer and the female who accompanied him. Mr. Winfield attempted to stop the harassment and asked the belligerent male to leave the store. The man then focused his attention on Mr. Winfield. Before leaving the store, he threatened that the attendant's glass booth would not be able to stop his bullets. Shortly after his departure, as Mr. Winfield went out to clean the area around the gas pumps, the man returned with a gun and shot Mr. Winfield several times, ultimately resulting in his death. Mr. Winfield's willingness and courage to become involved at the risk of his own safety in order to keep another person from being harmed was truly honorable and courageous. In today's environment, many people choose to turn their backs on others who need help, choosing instead not to get involved. Mr. Winfield's exceptional bravery and willingness to stand up for others was truly unique. At this time, I'd like to ask Damian Winfield to come forward.
Good evening, everybody. As easy as this may seem, but this is difficult. Today is a blessed day. I want to thank everybody for being here today. Every moment is a blessed moment. I would say cherish it because they happen so fast. Kids grow up so quick. Parents want to kick you out the house so fast. Before you know it, you're paying bills. You know, rent is always due. Mortgage, you just can't never keep up on it. Car note, everybody wants changes, everybody wants something new, everybody wants something. Desperation kicks in, and then you make choices and then you make decisions. Sometimes it's the right one, sometimes it's the bad one. Patience is always a virtue, and we always forget that. I want to say thank you for being here today. My name is Damien. Dennis was my oldest brother. I'm the second of four. Unfortunately, my mom couldn't be here today. She was feeling ill. And if anybody knows, losing a child, you kind of get sick when it comes around time like this. So I understand why my mom always can't make this ceremony. But I want to say thank you to everybody that did. And I want to say thank you to Brooklyn for holding this. You don't know how much this means to me, and I'm like the messenger, you know. Hey, how you doing? I got something to tell you. But then when I leave here, I go back and I tell my parents, my mom, my family, everybody that showed up, everybody that said hello, everybody that kissed and hugged me and said, make sure you give your auntie a kiss, make sure you give your mom a hug. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to my family. This is year 10. I usually wear a suit, and I don't know how much time Chief's gonna give me before he pull out the gun, and then I gotta get down, you know? But he knows I'll get up here and I'll take up all your time, and you know the cake may go bad before I'm done, but I wanna say thank you everybody for being here, and to the kids that's gonna receive this award today. I mean, it means so much to the world because change needs to come. Us as adults, we kind of dropped the ball on some issues. I talked about the desperation, and some of the desperation was trying to hold the family together. You know, some of the desperation was survival. The reality is, you know, we're trying to really make it happen in this world today, and we're forgetting about some things that really mean most to us, like the morals, you know, like heritage, you know, like things that we really, really hold dear and treasure more so than the gold, than the money, you know, the car, the house. We're forgetting some things, and we lose a lot just by making a simple decision, and we don't even understand it and know it. So many people lose out on one decision, and that's what I've learned from what happened to my brother. It's been 10 plus years, you know what I'm saying? And it's been a long time. I've learned a lot. I've been a lot of places, and I've done a lot of things. And I see one thing that I do know that people are desperate for, and they want to be themselves. Everybody's desperate to be themselves. I understand that. And it's kind of hard to get over that hump. You know, we talk about Wednesday being the hump day, and we're so happy to get over half of the week, and we don't even look forward to getting over the next week. It's sad, but we're forgetting who we really are. We're forgetting who we really are. And this is when things happen and we're shocked about situations, issues, things that go on. I'm thankful today to be able to be here and say we need to make some changes here. And I think we need to look forward to our children a little more so. Look after them a little more so, protect them a whole lot more. I want to say to the Barway family, come on, my heart is out there. And I hate to say it, and I know we all say it, but we all say, I wish I could have done something about that situation. I said the same about my brother. But now I have to look forward to what God's got in store for me, you know? Same thing for the family. Just got to move forward. Same thing for the children that's receiving this award today. Don't just take the award and say, hey, I got this piece of glass and piece of wood. This means something to not just me, but to the people that recognized you. The people that recognized you. Not only that, when I'm done doing this, and I hope that this carries on and on and on. I'm looking for the graduation of everybody that received. I'm looking forward to that. If not, if I don't make it, I got to put somebody in charge. You know, this is Dennis's daughter. It's been 10 years. Guess how old she told me she is today? 10 years old. It's kind of funny. It's kind of sad, but at the same time, I know what this means. I got a job to do. We all got to recognize our responsibility today. We talk about community, well, where do you stand in your community? Our community doesn't just stop over north, just doesn't stop in Brooklyn. I'm from Gary, Indiana. My community extends that far. And with that said, Chief, thank you. And everybody here, God bless and thank you.
Teachers and administrators from each of Brooklyn Center's elementary schools were asked to nominate one student who demonstrates exemplary leadership qualities. Each of the students nominated are role models in their schools, communities, by upholding the values of caring, kindness, and respect. This year, we are pleased to present the Dennis Winfield Leadership Awards to students from the following Brooklyn Center elementary schools: Earl Brown Elementary School, Evergreen Park World Cultures Community School, Garden City Elementary School, Northport Elementary School, Odyssey Academy, and St. Alphonsus Parish School. At this time, I'd like to introduce our next presenter, Brian Lutz, our Support Services Manager.
At this time, I would like to invite Michaela Llewellyn, her family, and teachers to please come forward. Michaela Llewellyn is a fourth grader at Earl Brown IB World School who was nominated by her teacher, Miss Abby Kremer. Miss Kremer stated that as an IB student, you have to strive to exhibit specific character traits and attributes. She believes that Michaela deserves this award because she is always demonstrating herself in a responsible and caring way. She is consistently looking out for her classmates and teachers and always does so with a positive attitude. Recently, Michaela sought out contact with the principal to discuss her desire to start an anti-bullying group at Earl Brown. She has taken initiative to schedule meetings with the principal as well as talk to her classmates to recruit others to help support her efforts. Michaela is a great leader in our Earl Brown School community. On behalf of the Winfield family and the Brooklyn Center Police Department, we are pleased to present the Dennis Winfield Leadership Award to Michaela Llewellyn. At this time, I would like to invite Marie Jane Fragoso Sosa, her family, and teachers to please come forward. Marie Jane is a fifth grader from Evergreen Park World Cultures Community School who was nominated by her teachers, Mrs. Jessica Tomlinson and Mrs. Samantha Goodman. Her teachers believe that Marie Jane deserves this award because she is a dependable student who consistently gives 100% towards her academics. She is a respectful student who is not afraid to try a new or challenging learning target. Marie Jane is a leader in our school community who goes above and beyond to help everyone around her. She is also active in our school community as a member of our school choir. She offers help to both adults and peers, and she seems to have a way of recognizing when someone is in need even before they realize they are in need. Marie Jane is a student with a big heart who welcomes everyone with her kind smile and helping hand. She befriends those with new friends and is the first person to get a paper for others at her table or jump up to help pick up another student's mess. Her thoughtfulness brightens our entire Evergreen Park School community each day. On behalf of the Winfield family and the Brooklyn Center Police Department, we are pleased to present the Dennis Winfield Leadership Award to Marie Jane Fergrosa Sosa. At this time, I would like to invite Jennifer Poyo, her family, and teachers to please come forward. Jennifer is a sixth grader at Garden City Elementary who was nominated by her teacher, Miss Sarah Priner. Ms. Priner believes that Jennifer deserves this award because she is an amazing young lady who exemplifies the essence of the Dennis Winfield Leadership Award. Over the past few years, Jennifer has shown respect and kindness as well as courage by standing up for others in a firm yet respectful way. She is a welcoming friend to new students as well as adults. She helps them out in any way that she can by including them or merely asking if they need help with something. She also shows that school and her achievement are a priority through her focus and attention to her learning and involvement in school groups. Jennifer has been a great leader in our Garden City School community. On behalf of the Winfield family and the Brooklyn Center Police Department, we are pleased to present the Dennis Winfield Leadership Award to Jennifer Poyo. At this time, I'd like to introduce our next presenter, Monique Dreyer, our community liaison.
At this time, I would like to invite Ichi Lee, her family, and teachers to please come forward. Ichi is a fifth grader at Northport Elementary School who was nominated by her principal, Leona Dearden, Assistant Principal Alejandra Estrada Burt, and Mr. Bobby Hankey, her fifth grade teacher. They believe that Ichi deserves this award because she is a friend to all and helps to bring out the best in everyone. She's involved in and proven to be a leader in many of the school's activities. She's the type of student that can and does make a positive difference on a daily basis in our school and in our community. She is a kind, hardworking student. She's outgoing, confident, and very responsible. Her open-mindedness allows her to positively lead the classmates into the exploration of new academic challenges. She has been seen helping students of all ages. She even donates some of her recess time to help the kindergarten classes. Ichi is well-liked and well-known by the students and staff at Northport. She goes out of her way to make sure that she has done her very best, whether academically or through extracurricular activities or through her interactions with others. Ichi is a young woman who embodies the characteristics of Dennis Winfield. On behalf of the Winfield family and the Brooklyn Center Police Department, we are pleased to present the Dennis Winfield Leadership Award to Ichi Lee. At this time, I would like to invite Isabel Vang, her family, and teachers to please come forward. Isabel is a fifth grader at Odyssey Academy who was nominated by her school's Dean of Students, Joffrey Reed, Executive Director, John Sadie, and her teacher, Mrs. Susan Spory, who believe that Isabel deserves this award because she works very hard and goes above and beyond in all of her classes. As a new student at Odyssey, Isabel has fit right into accepting the Odyssey core values and exhibiting them at school. She demonstrates leadership and strong character on a daily basis, which enriches responsible qualities from all who are around her. She is well respected by her peers and by the staff at Osseo Academy. She stands up for others and is a friend to all students who are in need. On behalf of the Winfield family and the Brooklyn Center Police Department, we are pleased to present the Dennis Winfield Award, Leadership Award to Isabel Vang. At this time, I would like to invite Christopher Ulati, his family, and teachers to please come forward. Christopher is a 7th grader at St. Alphonsus Parish School who was nominated by his school principal, Carrie Staples, who believes that Christopher deserves this award because he is a wonderful role model to his classmates. He is always willing to go above and beyond in not only his schoolwork, but also in helping his classmates as well. Christopher is kind and conscientious. He participates in many activities at St. Al's, including student council and band. He stands up for what he believes in and lives that out in his daily life. On behalf of the Winfield family and the Brooklyn Center Police Department, we are pleased to present the Dennis Winfield Leadership Award to Christopher Ulati. I'd like to thank the Winfield family for joining us today and invite Chief Benner back to the podium with some closing remarks.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm very excited. I hope today, again, you got to see the amazing people that are around us every day. Our businesses that take a part in investing in our children's future. Our neighbors that take the investment of their friends and neighbors. Met for the first time tonight. I didn't know that. So we have wonderful people here in Brooklyn Center. Brooklyn Center is a wonderful place. I'm proud to say that I worked here for 27 years. If you listen to the stories that people tell about what they've experienced here, something in 2014, crime being at an all-time low for many years, didn't happen by accident. It happened because of people like you and your neighbors and your friends that took a chance or they took a gamble with their safety to protect others and make it a wonderful place to live, a wonderful place to shop, and a wonderful place to be. Please, if you take anything out of today's events, I hope you just remember these positive, amazing stories. And again, I don't mean to be mean to the media. You're wonderful people too, and hopefully these positive stories go through. But sometimes when we're just bombarded with bad, negative things, we lose sight of the wonderful things. Damon said something very important about our children. We should teach them about how to be wonderful people, like the people in this room today. Again, I can't thank you enough for what you've done and what you'll continue to do tomorrow, hopefully, and lessons that we learned today. So again, thank you. As a small token of appreciation, we have wonderful bounty of cake back there. I handmade that myself. Okay, no, I've said that before, and people still don't believe me. Oh, Bobby, who, by the way, if you haven't learned, I cannot control. As a reminder, me, this is provided by the Crime Prevention Association. There's one person I also want to recognize here that I think is very important that we recognize. That's your city manager, Kurt Bogany. His leadership. Some people sit quietly in the corner and never look for credit. He's one of those people. He told me not to introduce him, so I probably won't be working tomorrow. But wonderful people. Thank you very much for your time.